Have you ever felt just completely wiped out after a conversation? You're not alone. And you know it has nothing to do with being an introvert or an extrovert. We're going to dig into the science behind this feeling, and it's all about a really fascinating concept called emotional contagion.
I mean, you know the feeling, right? You walk into a room, you're feeling good, the day's going great, but then you have a quick chat with a friend who's kind of down, and when you walk away, you feel heavy, exhausted. It's like you just ran an emotional marathon you didn't even sign up for.
And here's the thing you have to understand. You weren't just sympathizing with them. No, that exhaustion is real because you were, in a very real way, infected by their mood. Seriously, think of it like catching an emotional cold.
And that's the scientific term for it, emotional contagion. It's the process where you absorb the emotions of the people around you. So you don't just notice that someone is stressed, you actually start to feel their stress in your own body, as if it was yours to begin with.
So why does this even happen? Well, for some of us, it's because we're basically wired to be, well, an emotional sponge. We just naturally soak up whatever emotional atmosphere we're in.
This is such a perfect way to picture it. Imagine you're a sponge, right? And you get dropped into a bucket of blue dye. What's going to happen? You're going to soak it all up and turn blue. Without some kind of barrier, you can't help but absorb the color of your environment.
Okay, so let's get into the science of it, because this isn't just a metaphor. There's a real biological reason you might feel things so intensely, and it all comes down to these really special cells in your brain.
They're called mirror neurons. Now, these are brain cells that fire when you do something, like, say, pick up a cup of coffee. But what's so wild is they also fire when you just watch someone else pick up a coffee cup. Your brain literally mirrors their action. And yeah, this applies to emotions too.
And here it is. This is the big aha moment. For people who are highly empathetic, our emotional sponges, these mirror neurons are totally hyperactive. They're working overtime. So when you see your friend looking sad, your brain doesn't just register sadness. It fires up as if you are the one who's sad. You are literally mirroring their internal state.
And this brings us to a really crucial difference. See, cognitive empathy is knowing your friend is sad. You get it intellectually. But affective empathy, that's feeling their sadness in your own body. It's the difference between reading the weather report and actually getting caught in the rain. And that is where all the exhaustion comes from.
You know, getting caught in everyone else's emotional rain day after day, it has a real cost. This constant absorption takes a huge physical and mental toll on you.
I love this quote. It's so true. You end up carrying around all this emotional baggage that isn't even yours to begin with. It's heavy, it's draining, and you don't have to carry it.
And this shows up in real physical ways. You feel that deep exhaustion we've been talking about. Maybe you get headaches you can't explain. And maybe the most confusing part, you start to lose track of your own feelings. You have to ask yourself, wait, am I really sad right now? Or did I just pick this up from someone else?
So, okay, that's the problem. But the good news is you are not powerless here. You can absolutely learn to protect your energy. And we're not talking about building a brick wall and shutting people out. It's more like building a clear glass wall.
The key is to start practicing something called emotional hygiene. It's just like washing your hands to get rid of germs. You have to learn to wash off the emotions you've picked up throughout the day. It's a conscious practice of checking in with yourself and clearing out what doesn't belong to you. So how do you actually build this wall? It's really a four-step process. First, you acknowledge their emotion, see it, and validate it. Then, you visualize a clear, protective glass wall between you and them. Next, you observe their feelings through that wall. You can still see them, you can still support them, but their emotions don't pass through to you. And finally, you preserve your own energy, your own color, so you can be there for them without being totally consumed by it.
And you know, when you start doing this, something pretty amazing happens. You stop being a victim of your own empathy, and you start becoming the master of it. You learn to turn what feels like a burden into a gift that you can actually manage.
And that's really the big takeaway here. Your deep empathy? It isn't a flaw. It's not a weakness. It is a superpower. It lets you connect with people on such a deep level. But just like any superpower, you have to practice and learn how to manage it so you can use it without burning yourself out.
So, as you go about your day, just remember that you have a choice. You don't have to be a chameleon, changing with every single person you talk to. You can build that glass wall and decide for yourself, whose color will you be today?